Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This week I've had my Bamboo Lab H2C for about 2 weeks now, and what I'd like to do would be a review of the BiQu Panda Frostbite and Glacier CryoGrip plates. Uh, since I've got the machine, I've almost exclusively used the BiQu Panda Frostbite plate, which is for PLA and PETG. But a quick backdrop of my experience with build plates, if I go back to all the way to my Creality Ender 3, those came with a glass plate. And I could not tell you the amount of trouble and struggles I had with getting any kind of adhesion on that kind of plate. Um, the original tricks were to use hairspray and glue sticks, and that's also you had to manually level the bed with a sheet of paper and the little knobs on the bottom. And after just a couple prints, it would get out of whack, so you'd always have to re-level your bed, and it was just the worst nightmare. But creatively enough, what I found to work the most was painter's tape. I would actually put the painter's tape over the whole glass plate. And then, unfortunately, when the print got done and I would take it off, it would take the painter tape with it. However, what I noticed is if I in the slicer, if I just moved where the print was on the plate, I could actually maximize the effort it took to put that painter's tape on. But cleaning it was such a pain. All right, and this is the standard textured PEI plate that comes with most printers nowadays. And at the time when I got my Anycubic Viper, it was like the hottest thing since sliced bread. It solved so many adhesive issues, at least with PLA. I had found that with mine and using PETG, which is my preference as far as printed material, I still actually had a lot of warping and adhesion issues. And now the 3D printing's out better for a long time. I actually believe the issue was because I wasn't keeping the build plate clean enough. But this is the stock plate that comes with most machines these days, and they work for all intents and purpose. Works great. But when I got my machine, I was always in the back of my mind was just having the warping and adhesion issues with PETG. So when I got my machine, I had ordered off Amazon a BiQu CryoGrip frostplate, which is what is currently printing now. I'm actually printing stacking trays for filaments of spools. But later, during the Prime Day sale, the partner for the engineering filament, the Glacier plate, went on sale. So I went ahead and picked one of those up. I couldn't say no on that price. But I'll insert some videos, but the results that I've had with the BiQu Panda plate have been phenomenal. Uh, Everything sticks, with the exception of this one item. I showed it in my last video, but this is the one and only failure that I had. And hopefully the camera will pick it up. But what ended up happening, if you look at the time lapse I showed on the last video, is that this shifted and it actually continued printing, and the spaghetti detection didn't go off, which I thought was rather odd. But this is the only failure that I've had with all the prints that I've done. And one of the big projects that I was excited that I was able to complete on this past weekend was the stands and shelf for my AMS Pro and AMS HT. And I am going to be ordering a second AMS Pro this week before the Bamboo Lab anniversary sale ends. And I actually went ahead and printed out some of these wheels because I'm going to put it under here so I can be able to pull it out and push it back in and have it stacked and look neat. But everything that has come off this machine has stuck to these plates unbelievably well. And I'm able to do back-to-back prints. I am very careful where I put my hands because the oil on your fingers can make it so you lose adhesion. And I've cleaned my plate like twice. I actually cleaned my plate at the start of the day. Just use soap and water. You're not supposed to use rubbing alcohol. Uh, on the BQ Panda website, it's kind of interesting because on the frostbite plate, which is only good for PLA and PETG, they say use warm water and soap only, no rubbing alcohol. But this glacier plate is basically the equivalent of Bamboo Labs engineering plate. And on their website, it says that you can use rubbing alcohol to clean this. I'm not too sure why there's a difference, but that's what they said. So I'm a stickler for following instructions. So I just washed my frostbite plate with warm water and soap. And anybody who might be on the fence about getting one, as far as you know, they can be kind of pricey depending on your machine. If you missed out on the Amazon Prime Day deals, that's unfortunate because I had these on sale for a really, really good price. But they are well worth it. And compared to the Bamboo Lab Super Tack Plate, I don't have one. I don't plan on getting one, but all the reviews I watch, the Super Tack Plate is really, really sticky. However, the coating is not that good and can easily come off. And as far as on these, uh, everything is stuck really well, and I haven't lost any of the coating. Um, Now, a word to the wise, you are supposed to let the print cool down before you get it off. And a couple times in my excitement, when as soon as the print was done, I would try to get it off the plate, and I would actually have to use a scraper, and I accidentally scratched a little part of the surface. And don't do that. Just let the plate cool down, then it'll pop right off. And you can just, as long as you don't touch the build area, put it right back on your plate, and go right back to your print. Now, a couple of my experiences that I've had using it with H2C are, it does not have a QR code at all. So as far as the build plate detection feature, you're going to have to disable that. A couple of videos that I saw from a few years ago when they first came out, they actually had the QR code for that. But on both my Frostbite and Glacier plate, there is no QR code. So you'll have to totally disable the plate detection. Otherwise, it's not going to read any QR code. And another anomaly that I've had with my Frostbite plate is quite often when I go to start a print, the alignment detection, there's a strip on the side of both sides of the plate. And if it's obstructed, it will stop the print because namely the Vortex rack goes up and down and the machine doesn't want the rack to hit the side of the plate, which is a smart feature. But it has gone off more times than I can count, and for reasons I don't know. Oftentimes I have found that just lifting it up and just letting it go and let the normal actually will put it in a perfect alignment. When I do it manually, put it in there and put it down slow, I have found that back-to-back times it will not read the alignment. So, and I will not disable that feature because I don't want my Vortex rack being damaged. But that's just words of wise on that. But outside of that, if you've been on the fence about getting one of these, don't be. They're worth the money. And also, I just want to throw out there, I am not sponsored by BiQu Panda, although if they want to sponsor me, they're more than welcome. But I'm not sponsored by either Bamboo Lab or BiQu Panda. I bought these with my own money, and this is my own review. But anybody who would find this review useful, don't hesitate. They're absolutely worth it. Just wash it, try not to touch it with your hands, and you'll be very, very happy. Uh, so if you like what you see, please like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. God bless. Have a great day.